every time you throw this away, you're not just creating waste, you're throwing away black gold. Welcome back to Living Lere. It may sound crazy, but the most valuable resource for a thriving garden and healthier soil is something most of us throw in the trash every single day. We've been taught to think of it as garbage, but it's not, it's potential. This is compost, and I know what you might be thinking. It's complicated, it smells, it's messy, and I'm here to tell you it's a total myth. Today, I'm going to show you the super simple, clean, no-fuss way to start your own compost system. We're going to turn your kitchen waste into a free, powerhouse superfood for your plants, so you can build a healthier garden and a healthier planet starting today.
Composting is very important because, the soil that we plant, whether it's flowers or vegetables in every year, it gets depleted. And you always have to put something back because we've disturbed the natural process. When you look in the forest and the woods, the leaves fall down, they break down and they actually feed the trees again. But when we plant beds and all that, we don't have that process going on. So you always have to add compost. And doing it this way, you're really using clean, natural, organic ingredients to do it. And we have seen on the property once in certain areas where composting has taken place and we've collected the compost, it's incredibly rich. And you put that in your flower beds, your vegetable beds, and it's just amazing to see how the soil responds, the plant responds. So it's definitely just the way God created it to be.
When you add that broken down, rich compost, that I call black gold, back into your soil, that bolsters and boosts the soil's microbiome and absolutely diversifies the microbiome of that soil. So it's just a win-win all around. Every year we spend so much money on going to buy compost. But for what we do on our property, it just doesn't make financial sense for us to be spending all that money. So what I use is I do all my vegetable scraps. So anything with regards to veggies, the seeds, the skins, if I am, taking a spoon and scooping out the flesh of a butternut squash, my eggshells, my tea bags, my tea leaves, all those kind of things I add. And once it is full, I go and put it out the back, and then Eddie handles the rest. Why don't you go and show them how to make some leaf compost?
Sure.
As we say in Afrikaans, compost.
Compost.
If you're enjoying what you see here on Living Lere, go ahead and give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss a new recipe or lifestyle tip. Oh my gosh, we've got so much more coming your way.
So the process that we follow is basically starts, I would say, in the kitchen. Any kind of kitchen scraps we have, Lere collects it in a dish. And once that dish is full and we've got a dish or a bucket full of it, we would bring it and put it into a bigger bucket. And the general rule we follow is that for every amount of kitchen scraps you put in there, you put an equal amount of shredded leaves. Now it's important that the leaves are shredded because then the composting process happens quicker. The kitchen scraps are actually quite wet and it has a lot of liquid in it, and you can't just put kitchen scraps on a pile. When you do that, you actually get a pile of trash. You don't get composting. But when you add the shredded leaves or some kind of brown material, it absorbs the liquid that's in the kitchen scraps, and then the composting process will start. So there's kind of two ways that we found that you can shred leaves. The first one is, we bought a wood chipper, and you can throw leaves in there and it will shred it nice and fine, which again, you want it, the finer it is, the faster the composting process happens. So we would just rake up the leaves into a pile, throw it into the top of the hopper, and you'll see once it is shredded, you get this beautiful bag of shredded leaves that is so useful. The other way that you can, if you don't want to buy a chipper, you can actually use a lawnmower. So if you have a lawnmower, push mower, and you just put it on a mulching mode, you cover the side of it with a cover that's provided, and you put on a bagger at the back, and you just mow over the leaves, and you'll find in that bag eventually you've got wonderful shredded leaves, which again helps with the composting. The other thing is, if you have a lawnmower and you're mowing your lawn every week or whenever, all those green clippings you're collecting is excellent for composting, because you always in composting you need the greens and you need the browns, and when you put those two together you can even get to a point of what they call hot composting, where the pile actually gets quite hot and everything happens way faster. So once the bucket is full of these kitchen scraps and the leaves, open the compost pile, throw all of these, everything that's in the bucket, in the compost pile and cover it with leaves. You can also add more water to that, wet the pile, because the pile, remember, it actually needs air and water and then these ingredients for proper composting to happen. Something else that you need to do is about once a month you want to turn the pile. So when you turn them, you want to hose them down and just add water to the pile. It basically could take anything from 3 months to 8 months, I would say, for this pile to get composted. And let's say you start a pile and after about a month, you don't want to add to it. You want to get it to a certain size, whatever size you want it to be, and then you want to leave it like it is. You want to keep turning it every month, but you don't want to add new material to it, because you want the existing material to break down and to compost. So that's about it, folks. As easy as that. One of the big things with composting is just make a start. Even if you do it wrong, it will still go well, because it's such a natural process, and you could really save yourself a lot of money by not buying compost. And also in the process, you're cleaning your yard. So you're taking what nature gives you and you're turning it into something very useful.